I know I've seen it somewhere. It's definitely here. You doing this shit again, Cloud? I'm gonna find it this time, I swear. That's what you said last time. I know it's out. It's come out. There's all kinds of videos online. I know I'm gonna find it. I swear I'm going to. Are we seriously doing this shit again? No. Hi, Tifa. Yeah, we are. He's looking for that stupid box again. Ugh. I don't know what to tell you, Cloud. I know it's around here somewhere. Wrong voice. Wait. Is that the ghost of Eris? What the hell is she doing? Have you seen it? Wait, she's doing something. She's casting some kind of spell. She's summoning something. Boom! Alright, wrong box. There. Well, I guess he found it. Careful what you wish for. Leave that over here. Move this aside. Alright, Cloud, so you found it. Did you get everything you were looking for? Yes. What did it cost you? Just a couple arms and a leg. All right, hello everybody. Chris Panic here. I've been waiting way too long to do this video, but I have finally got my one and probably only Final Fantasy collector booster box. I'm not going to go into any of the pricing or anything like that. I definitely wanted to make sure I had one of these to do a video. Just beware anybody who's going to be watching. I don't know if this is going to go longer than my usual ones, but this is also going to end up a video of old guy gamer rambles about his past and history of the Final Fantasy games. Speaking of which, I actually was thinking about trying to cue some Final Fantasy music in this video. Just have that little you know, that song play in the background, but I don't want to get copyright claimed. Without further ado, I think we're going to get started shortly. I'm just trying to make sure I'm aware of where my empty top loaders are, just in case I have a massive hit. But let's be real, everybody. These boxes are expensive, incredibly hard to come by. This is probably one of the most unique Magic sets that's come out in a long time, if not ever. I can't act like I'm a Magic historian, but this is it's like Lord of the Rings, except it's a hell of a lot more expensive, you know, with a large entry fee. So, as I didn't mention in a lot of my previous videos, but this channel is about losing money so you don't have to, but that's not exactly how it works. I know a lot of anybody who might be watching or other Magic nerds have probably gotten one of these and definitely have lost their ass on pricing. I don't know, like, I'm not going to go into a lot of that, but this is definitely one of those cases where the minute I crack this open, the EV of the contents are in this whole product is entirely gone. So I've been waiting to do this video for so long. I wanted to make it perfect, do all that fun stuff, but you're never going to get there. And it almost felt like how I played the Final Fantasy games, you know, like it's an adventure to finally achieve the goal to get to the end. And once you get to the end game, I just tidying up all the side quests, flying the airship everywhere, just making sure there's no, you know, town dialogue or anything that I hadn't missed or anything special. But we're overdue. I'm just going to do this. It's not like I'm going to get as many viewers as some of the other, you know, box openers, but I still want to document this whole thing. I have done the one single pack, and the one thing I really wish I noted in that last video I did was how the songs get stuck in my head as I'm looking at some of the cards, like the climbing up the pillar in Midgar, you know, the whole sound. All right, without further ado, let's destroy value. First and foremost, I'm going to manhandle the crap out of this box. So, you know, doing some extra damage to all the contents inside, Just kidding. Like, see, this is why I'm doing some of this on video, so at least anybody can see how terrible I'm doing at this. One of the things I appreciate about this set is having Terra at the forefront. Final Fantasy VI is not probably one of the biggest, most famous of the games, or at least popular amongst newer generations, but it was the one I started with, and definitely that and 7 probably have the closest part in my heart right there. So as I'm opening all this stuff up and just rambling, and I told you this is just gonna be old guy rambles about crap all day. That's what this video is going to be. Let's pile them up like that just to be safe. This is a very beautiful box. It is very beautiful. I mean, not like some of the other ones aren't pretty, but I really like this one. So my start in the Final Fantasy games goes back to my days in, I think, middle school, or if not early high school. I could do the math, I can get the years together, but the background here is, at first my parents got me a subscription to a video game magazine when I was a kid. The very first issue, it was Game Players. The first issue I had was the Super Street Fighter cover, or just the Street Fighter 2 cover, whichever one of the versions. I think it might have been Super Street Fighter, but it was the one when they also reviewed Final Fantasy VI. And I remember they gave both Street Fighter and Final Fantasy VI in 9.98. The ads definitely stood out if you haven't seen any of them in any of the comic books or video game magazines. But at the time, I didn't have a Super Nintendo. Like, we still had an NES. I grew up in the Midwest, and, you know, we weren't like a rich, well-off family. So we got the game consoles a little late. But then we moved to a new place, and my neighbors... they were, you know, college kids, and, you know, I'd hang out with them, and one of them had a Super Nintendo, and he had Final Fantasy VI, so I got to watch him actually play this game that I read about in ads in magazines for a while, and then eventually, you know, he gave me the game, and I got to play it for the first time and experience a Final Fantasy. So I played Final Fantasy 7 or 6. 7 definitely was a game changer, as everybody knows, because it's when they moved from the pixel graphics into the full 3D. Final Fantasy 8, like, very contentious, but it definitely is one that stands out to me because one of the funny things is, you know, Final Fantasy 6, you had Locke, who was a, you know, the male, like, I wouldn't say the male lead, because there wasn't exactly a lead character in 6, but blonde-haired, you know, guy. Cloud in Final Fantasy 7, blonde hair. And then Squall in Final Fantasy 8 was a brown-haired loner, not really like the same kind of character that you had in, you know, say Locke or Cloud, or even, you know, going into Zidane or Tidus in Final Fantasy 9 and 10. But yeah, it's unique. So the pack's opened, the box is open. I lost a lot of money. So everybody rip, let's pour one out. I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, I was just gonna, another note is I played all the way up to Final Fantasy X. 10 was a bit contentious for me. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I remember playing it when it came out back in 2000 on my PS2. I was one of the lucky few because I worked in a game store and I was able to get my hands on a PS2. I'm gonna leave these upside down because I'm just talking, and I just feel like talking instead of like showcasing cards. Yes, I did wash my hands twice before doing this because, you know, I act like it really matters. But yeah, I've played Final Fantasy X. I guess it was when I was coming of age and, like, you know, getting into the grind in real life, and the magic wasn't exactly there anymore. I also didn't like the fact you couldn't fly an airship and have the actual view of looking at the world. But in some hindsight, Final Fantasy X was a great game. 11 online only. 12, I tried it, just couldn't get into it, and I have not played any Final Fantasies since. So I think Final Fantasy is interesting because it's a generation. There's definitely a generational gap in the games. There's those who started with Final Fantasy 1, had Final Fantasy 2 on Super Nintendo, which, you know, as you know, is 4. Some people like me who started around 6 and 7. But you also have people who are just bonkers about Final Fantasy 14. No judgment on any of them. when I go through these cards, I'm definitely going to be talking about a lot of nostalgia and all that other fun stuff. But obviously, Final Fantasy 12, 13, whatever sets are in here, I'm not going to know much to speak. So let's take a look. First thing we got here, we got ourselves a hero token. Goes with the job select artifacts that are in this set. But this is the tokens aren't really a lot of the feature here. I do love the tokens, but let's just get into the nitty gritty here because I've just wasted 10 minutes just old man rambling. All right, behind the hero, we got ourselves to start. First one from this box, the Darkness Crystal. Looks like a borderless foil. We'll set that in one pile. And this is probably some of my favorites in this set. This is definitely something I'm probably going to be keeping for myself, but I love the in-game art treatment. Final Fantasy VI, the scene when you find... it wasn't Shiva. I can't remember the Esper. I should remember this. I haven't played Final Fantasy VI in about 25 plus years. So be on the lookout for a live stream of me playing through that for the first time in decades. But this is from the opening scene. This is when Terra basically awakens from communicating with this frozen Esper. Also, it's Nature's Claim, you know. So it's also an actual game card that you play in Magic the Gathering. All right, let's set that aside here. Then we got Soldier Military Program, an enchantment. The Soldier Military Program from Final Fantasy VII should be familiar to everybody. And behind here, we got Arden the Usurper. Interesting different art here. Like, once again, I don't know Final Fantasy 15, but for pre-release, I actually had him in a deck. He does some work. I can't speak to the actual lore of the character because I don't really know this one too well. And from Final Fantasy 14, Ardbert, the Warrior of Darkness. Don't really know this one too well. So we're just going to put that aside. I'm going to run out of room here. I want to make sure I keep the actual packs on camera so you can see I'm not pulling any shenanigans. But we got Jill, Shiva's Dominant from Final Fantasy 16. All right. We'll set that there. I'll mess with the piles. Here. No shenanigans. You can see all the cards. It's not like my my low quality setup here isn't already doing issues where I'm losing focus on the camera. I'm also losing focus by rambling about the cards too much. So we're never going. This video is never going to end. I swear. All right. All right. Here we go. So we got the lands. Swamp from Final Fantasy V. I will set that into another pile where I'm going to keep the lands. You got Coco Mog. This is the one from Final Fantasy VII. I can't remember if this was in the original game or not, but, you know, Coco Mog definitely was in the remake. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII in quite a while, which is something, but Final Fantasy VII is probably the one I played the most, followed by 6. And I think I made an attempt at 8 for a second time. We got Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. I just recently beat this for the first time ever, which is ridiculous. We got ourselves the Colosseum Behemoth. This one's from Final Fantasy II, but it makes me think of the Colosseum from Final Fantasy VI. Sleep Magic, you know, always a good spell to cast in the game. The Battle Menu, which is the classic here. The Attack Ability Magic Item. Yeah, I guess that's about right. And the whole setup with just like it would be in the game. You got Realm, you got Wogao, Terra, and Cyan, I believe that is. Sage Noliths from Final Fantasy XIV. Don't know that too well. Final Fantasy I's Town Greeter. I did not play Final Fantasy I. And an Ifrit from Final Fantasy VIII. Well, there we go for the commons, uncommons. Definitely, you know, some fun in seeing those, but as you can tell already, first pack in, there's not really a whole lot that's really showcasing, you know, the cost of these boxes. I probably should just use some scissors here. I'm very nervous about opening these up for some reason. I was nervous about doing this video, to be honest. I almost didn't want to do it. I was sitting here looking at these cards, just like, should I? Shouldn't I? I should just keep it. You know, all that stuff. But no, I want to see what I can collect here. So the main focus for me are going to be the in-game art cards and the Amano art. The Amano, like, I can't pronounce the name right off the top, but he did a lot of the original art for Final Fantasy, and it's unique and it stood out really well. All right, so behind our hero token, we got Nibelheim, a flame from Final Fantasy VII. The flashback sequence where Sephiroth learns his background, all that other stuff, and then just straight up destroys a town. Tifa gets injured pretty badly. Like, I'm not gonna go through the whole story. You all play it for yourself. And there we go. This is, I should probably sleeve that one up. We got Master Zand from Final Fantasy III, one I didn't play as well, but this is the Yoshitaka Amano art foil treatment. This is definitely going to be going to my special pile. Oh my god, and this is see, this is going to go in my personal collection too. The nerding out is real, everybody. I just can't help myself. Celis from Final Fantasy VI. She was definitely, I wouldn't say my favorite character. It was hard to have a favorite character in a game. They all stood out well, but she was definitely somebody who stood out. Like, I really liked her as a character. Very unique. I'm just going to ramble and just go crazy here. We'll set that there. Let's go into my pile. Van from Final Fantasy 12, the game that I didn't get too into it. And Yuna's Decision. Oh my god, the feels on this card. So I'm probably going to be doing a live stream of Final Fantasy X first. And, I've been cheating and looking at the lore videos and everything and kind of remembering what all the scenes were, but this one was the feels. The feels were there. Let's put that aside. Haha, look at that. We got ourselves another fun one from Final Fantasy VI. We got Edgar, the King of Figaro. Definitely a unique ability because in the game, if you haven't played it, he used a two-headed coin to determine the dispute between him and his brother Sabu. Or Sabin. Okay. I'm losing my mind. Definitely he has a unique ability because the first time you flip one or more coins each turn, you just say heads, and then you're always going to win the coin flip. So he definitely broke coin flips. Let's put him aside here. I'll probably end up sleeving most all of these. Interesting enough, there is a waist that is in the set, but it's not not standing out too hard. But whatever. All right, so from Final Fantasy XI, we got Fenrir, a summon. Then we have Clash of the Icons from Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy II, the Emperor of Palamecia. Cloud of Darkness from Final Fantasy III. Just bear with me, everybody. So when I played these games, it was before the internet. It was before we had this common hive mind of, figuring out the correct way to pronunciate a lot of names. So a lot of the names I would say, I probably had a different way of saying them than others. But this one, I never played this game, so don't know how to pronounce that name. Crossroads Village from Final Fantasy II. The Namazu Trader. That thing did pretty good work in pre-release. That was kind of cool. Gigatoad. I'm not going to pronounce it. All right, let's move on. All right, pack number 3. Let's try gently pulling here. And let's try separating here. This is definitely going to be one of my longest videos. I'm going to make this almost as long in minutes as a Final Fantasy game is in hours. Just kidding, everybody. Just kidding. Oh, look at the shine of the inside of this pack. All right. Surprise, we got ourselves a hero token. Surprise. All right. Then we got ourselves a Summon Leviathan. Let's set these here. Summon Leviathan. Here we go, another of the Amano art, Gilgamesh, the Weapon Collector, aka Godo Bandit Warlord. I'll set this here in my little special pile. We got Kujata from Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. I know all my lore. I'm totally good at it. Ultimate Magic Holy, obviously a really good spell from the game. Just looking at the ability here, permanents you control gain indestructible in turn. If the spell was cast from exile, prevent all damage would be dealt to you this turn. Yeah, it's kind of unique and interesting. We got Emmett from Final Fantasy XIV. Once again, I didn't play the game, so I don't know it very well. And we have ourselves the Starting Town, which is a very unique and powerful land ability here. All right. Behind here, we got ourselves a Swamp from Final Fantasy XIV. And going back, we have Prompto Argentum from Final Fantasy 15. Didn't play it, don't really know it. From Final Fantasy 13, we got Fang. Didn't play that one either. The Chocobo Racetrack from the Golden Saucer. If anybody was grinding that Golden Chocobo quest in Final Fantasy 7, you definitely know about this, because you had to do a lot of racing. The random encounter, the spell itself, not going to comment on, but of course, the Final Fantasy games are unique for the random encounters that happen as you play the game. Actually, it's kind of one of the biggest barriers of entry for new players or non-hardcore players in these games. Zack Fair, if you didn't know the Final Fantasy VII lore, but he was actually the original Cloud, or who Cloud thought he was, or pretended he was, all that other fun jazz. Called the Mountain Chocobo from Final Fantasy VII. Aramon, just your general animal that you'd see, and the item shop keep. So, okay, not too terrible for the commons and uncommons. Let's get through the next pack. So I'm not really holding my breath for anything super special here or any kind of major value pulls. There's only 77 serialized cards. I can't remember the rarity of some of the Chocobos, but I'm not anticipating getting very much out of these packs. I'm really just doing this to have fun for myself and for the nostalgia of going through all the Final Fantasy cards. Plus the hype for the set. It was, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, if you're watching this, if you're a Magic player, you were there. You know exactly what's going on. I'm tired of these packs. I'm going to scissors this one. Don't worry. No cards got injured in that one. All right. We got ourselves, all right, not a hero. We got ourselves a bird token. And behind there, we got ourselves, awesome enough, Xanarkand, the town from Final Fantasy X. If you don't know the lore, the ancient metropolis that Tidus was from. Whole lot of story there. I'm not going to totally go into all that. We got Lab Maniac as the Vanadiel Adventurers from Final Fantasy XI. I don't know. I didn't play that, so I don't know how to pronounce it. We got Go-Go from Final Fantasy VI, the Master of Mimicry. And moving along, we got Valifor the Summon from Final Fantasy X. Luna's very first summon. Random fact that nobody asked for. Tello the Great Sage from Final Fantasy IV. Oh, Lord. And this one is going into my Tesa deck unless I get a better version of it. The Masamune Sephiroth's Sword. Also has been featured in other games as well. Quite a powerful ability. This is definitely going to my personal collection, so I'm not too worried about this getting sleeved up quite yet. All right, and then we have ourselves a Mountain from Final Fantasy IV. Also, I didn't play that one myself, but you can tell, there was his actual relevance in the art here. All right, now let's keep moving. Clash of the Icons. Rydia, Final Fantasy XIV. Didn't play. See, and as I said, the Golden Saucer. Seeing this here, the songs in my head, the Gold Saucer theme. The Judge, Magistar Gabranth from Final Fantasy XII. Travel the Overworld. I actually like this card. It's because you get all these towns. Hectize. Oh my god, this comes from Final Fantasy II. I remember encountering this creature when I was going through and finishing up Final Fantasy IX when the mist returned at the very end of the game. And Guado Salam, The Far Plane Gateway. Oh, this is from Final Fantasy X, so I kind of don't remember this too much. Interesting. I actually don't. I mean, I watched a bunch of videos going over the lore and everything of that game and totally forgot about that area. Wasn't even in my mind. All right. Yes, like, you can make all the jokes you want. I should not be a surgeon. I should just not. I should not quit my day job, everybody. All right. Let's get this open with as little... Not very much has happened here. This is probably going to be one of the... This is one of the videos I was looking the most forward to, but I have a feeling this is going to be one of my worst videos ever. It's also going to be at a high runtime. So, yeah. You know, if you didn't have enough ADHD in your life, you're not going to make it to the end of this video. All right, so we got ourselves the classic hero token. And then behind there, we have Tella the Great Sage from Final Fantasy IV, which we've seen one. Oh man, these stupid plastic things. We got the Newfound Adventure from Final Fantasy XIV, basically Farseek. The Blue Mage's Cane. Chocobo Knights from Final Fantasy X. Those poor fools. Those poor fools. And then, here we go, Edgar, the King of Figaro, with his Tools ability. And I couldn't think, unless they had a single artifact for every ability he had in that toolkit. This is probably the best I could do. All right, behind there we got Clive's Hideaway. This is from Final Fantasy 16. And then we have Seventh Heaven as a plains, all the way down there in Sector 7. All right, so behind the plains we got Eden, the Seat of the Sanctum from Final Fantasy 13. I almost thought this might have been something from Final Fantasy 8, but no. But it seems like it would be. I don't know. Whoop. The Emperor of Palamacia, side quest Hunt the Mark from Final Fantasy 12. Sorceress's Schemes from Final Fantasy 8. Oh boy, the sorceresses. The Dark Knight's Great Sword from Final Fantasy 14. Blitzball Shot from Final Fantasy 10. The Scorpion Sentinel from Final Fantasy 7. It's even got their text on here. It kind of makes me wonder if it was like, it should have had some kind of ability like, you know, if it's your turn, it has first strike or something like that. Oh, and here we go. Speaking of Nibelheim, this is the scene in the game when Sephiroth totally realized how he was created, and the fact that he was kind of created from Genova, and then after that, he just burned it all down. You know, going through the rage. All right, I have no idea what pack I'm on, but I should do an overlay here just to kind of like show how much EV I've lost going through this box. I should just left it sealed, sit on it forever, and then forget I even have it. Just kidding. Now, let's not even go there. Just a little off the top. All right. We got ourselves a bird token. Ooh, awesome. Okay, cool. I like this hit. We got ourselves Sephiroth, the Fabled Soldier. Just a showcase. I don't know exactly what those are called. Like, it's like a showcase of sorts, but it's a showcase title card. But this guy's ability, he's strong. This is going to my Tesa deck as well. We again have the Laboratory Maniac. We'll just pop that here. Ooh, these two cards. Yeah, these are my Tesa cards now. Those would just be some of my favorites. We got our Lab Maniac. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. It's not a gold Chocobo, but I'm not expecting to hit one of those. I am not at all. I'm just going to go through here and get all the nostalgia from the games that I love here. We got ourselves Terra from my favorite Final Fantasy, the Herald of Hope, Surge Foil. Holy smokes, everybody. Let's see how close I can get to the camera. See if I can get extreme close up and like somehow damage the damn card. doing all that. Let's be careful here. I think this is going to be one of the strongest hits I had, and this is definitely going to be a big part of my collection. Where the hell are my top loaders at? I'm losing all my things. There we go. Found them. They're not lost, everybody. This one's definitely going straight into a top loader. Being as safe as possible. I love this too. Nice little anime art for one of my the favorite heroines from the Final Fantasy games. We'll leave that aside. Also, pretty good hit, but we are ourselves Cloud X Soldier. Yeah, we'll just pop it in that pile. I don't really care. Stiltskin, the Moogle Merchant from Final Fantasy IX. If you haven't played that one, you know, there was the whole Mognet quest line, including Stiltskin. You had to buy stuff from him to keep funding his journey. Who cares what order these go in? I don't think it really matters. All right, we got Bartz and Boko from Final Fantasy V. And then we have a basic land. Yippee. All right. After here, we got the summon Primal Garuda from Final Fantasy XIV. Summon Anima, Seymour summon from Final Fantasy X. We got the side quest of playing Blitzball. I grinded the hell out of that when I played this game, Final Fantasy X back in the day. Like I did everything you're supposed to do. Holy shit. Oh boy. And then Rufus Shinra from Final Fantasy VII. Oh boy. I mean, I'm not going to get too much into lore, but standout character here. Oh, and here we go, another Final Fantasy VII hit, but we got Barrett Wallace. And then Slash of Light, You're Not Alone from Final Fantasy IX. And Gone, the Town of Ruin from Final Fantasy VII. Or 5. Can I edit this? Is it too late for me to stop doing these live and unscripted? All right, I guess not. I think I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do about it. All right, safety first. I just want to be as careful as possible with these. All right, let's see what we got here. Did I even open this all the way? Yeah, okay, I did. All right, we got ourselves yet another hero token. Oh boy, and then we hit ourselves another Surge foil. Looks like an anime card. This is Xenos Yegalvis from Final Fantasy XIV. Didn't play that game. Don't know how popular this card's going to be. I don't know anything about that card, really, or that character. All I know is it is a Surge foil, alt art, whatever showcase. So it will go into the sleeve and then go into the top loader. You can comment if I totally did all this wrong, if any of the cards that were worth money are not in the pile, and blah, blah, blah. All right, sweet. We got ourselves a regular foil Search for the Frozen Esper. That's great. You know, the in-game art that I kind of liked. Sarah Farron from Final Fantasy 13. Don't know much about that game because I didn't play it. Similar. Krill. I have no idea who this is, but hey, we got one. Oh boy, and there we go. We got Tifa Lockhart. Everybody's favorite, like, new infect style creature. This landfall is going to be potentially bonkers. We'll see how this impacts the actual game. Also, just a really cool card to have and pull out of here. Let's slide some of my specialties down and let's see what's behind Tifa. Then we got ourselves Zodiark, the Umbral God from 14. And then we got the Open Road from Final Fantasy 15. And then behind there, we got ourselves Rama from Final Fantasy 6, which part of me wants to think that was the one who was in the ice, but I can't remember. But I do remember, I think he was the first one you got in Final Fantasy 9. We got the Fat Chocobo from Final Fantasy 7. The Capital City from Final Fantasy 16. Fenrir from Final Fantasy 11. Prompto Argentum, that guy. Oh my god, the Marlboro, classic character from the games, you know, just one of the random monster characters. I recently encountered it when I was playing through Final Fantasy 9, and that bad breath ability, Jesus criminy. Just annoying, you know, if you didn't have any of the abilities set up to prevent like confusion or poison or blind. Yeah, it just made your day a mess. Paladin arms and the red mage's rapier. All right, we're about halfway through. I mean, okay, so that was pack 7, so we're getting close to the end here, and you know, it's really funny that I was trying to potentially try to make this a really special, perfect, awesome video. You know, like this set meant a lot, you know, or the series, you know, had a huge impact on my life and meant a lot of things. In the set, there was just a lot of hype for it. The hoping I was actually going to get any of it, you know. Wanted everything to be really cool, but end of the day, it's Magic the Gathering. It's a bunch of cardboard, everybody, you know. All right, behind the hero, we got ourselves yet another Surge foil. From this one from Final Fantasy 16. It's Clive, Ifrit's Dominant. Once again, don't know that game. Don't know if I should really care that much, but I'm definitely popping this into the pile. I probably had to take it off camera a little bit, but trust me, I did not do any shenanigans. All right, top loader this one. Just because I believe just the rarity of these Surge foils being available only in the collector boxes, and the fact that the collector boxes are expensive and out of reach for a lot of people. We got ourselves another in-game card. We got Vayne Curtis Solidor. Yes, I'm really good at pronouncing things. But this is a Finn the Fangbearer. We'll just pop that there. Protection Magic. That's kind of cool. And, you know, fitting. Final Fantasy 9 as well. The Hella Trooper. This is Final Fantasy 7. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, now these guys were such a pain in the ass in the remake. Holy jeez. Ishgard, the Holy Sea from Final Fantasy 14. Don't know much about this one because I didn't play that game. And Ultima from Final Fantasy 16. Origin of Oblivion. And then here we got ourselves a mountain from Final Fantasy VI. I should be able to pinpoint like what part of the game this may have come from, but I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to get it wrong and just look like an idiot to everybody. All right. You know what? Like, interesting. All right, so I don't know this game at all. This is Final Fantasy 13. I don't know this character, but I do remember knowing that it was a meld card. And wonder if I have both pieces to meld here. I went through these whole series of Final Fantasy, or Innistrad Remastered, and I got the one, you know, the graph rats and the dude, you know, to make one meld creature. It would have been great to get the 2 angels, but I'm spending too much time here. But I want to see if I actually have the other piece to this. Probably not in foil, but whatever. I almost showed my face. I was like reaching my head all around here, like zooming in real close. Yeah, I can't quite tell if I have that or not, but let's move on because I'm wasting too much time here. Locke, however you pronounce his name. He's a treasure hunter, not a thief. You just know that. From Final Fantasy VI. Oh, these are the commons and commons. What the hell am I doing? I'm losing my mind, everybody. All right. Crystal Fragments. This is, from Final Fantasy IX. Ooh. This is right before, I believe this is a scene right before Alexandria got. That's what I'm saying. Elixir, Snowvilliers, Vector, the Gestalian Empire's capital city from Final Fantasy VI. Ice Magic. I really love the treatment they did on these, the tiered spells. And Gongaga, the reactor town. I remember this from Final Fantasy VII. I can't really... Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's all coming back to me now. I just remember the scenes in that game, like after later on when the world's like kind of like crumble and earthquakes are going on, and that was the town where people were like, I think it was Cloud or Tifa that fell into the Mako. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Who knows? All right. Let's continue here. Precision, precision, precision. I'm a pro, everybody. I'm a pro. Well, I guess I'm not a pro because I don't really get paid to do this. I pay to do this. Oh my god. So this will probably be one of the last videos I can do for a while. I mean, I'm going to love to do another Final Fantasy unpacking, but let's see how the prices go. If not, I may have to start moving on to some other Magic sets, which isn't the end of the world. We got ourselves the classic, the legendary Knights of the Round from Final Fantasy VII. This is the whole reason you did the whole Chocobo quest in that game, because you wanted to get this summon, and yes, it was goddamn powerful. All right, we got ourselves from Final Fantasy 13. Don't really know this too well, but a reprint of a Carpet of Flowers. Let's pop that aside. Professor Hojo, Sephiroth's dad. All right, that's something. Gal from Final Fantasy VII. Quite a unique ability. Too bad there was no real way to kind of steal abilities similar to what he does in the game, you know. And Beatrix, the badass from Final Fantasy IX. Whew. All right, cool. Hey, look at that. I got everybody's favorite meme card when the set was first getting spoiled. The deal 10,000 damage card. Holy Nikes. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to hold that. All right. Island from Final Fantasy 13. Then we got ourselves nice. It's a beautiful Zidane, Tantalus Thief. Kina from Final Fantasy IX. OP character. Holy smokes. I don't know whose Saz is. Fire Magic with Vivi on the art. The Shambling Seath. I don't know. I don't know. And the final death knell for I can't even remember what that card is, but you all know what I'm talking about. But also this dinosaur, I remember fighting this in the early game of Final Fantasy VIII. The Gardener, I don't know this one too well. And Sabotender, whatever. Let's keep going, everybody. All right, getting down to the last couple packs. It's a shame to say that this adventure is almost over. Feels like it's getting over right before it began. It's kind of a bit of a bummer, but whatever. What are you going to do, you know? All right. Hero token. Into 4 Wind Crystal. We got ourselves the Lightning Bolt, Thrum of the Vestige. Trummel, Seymour's Butler, Final Fantasy X. We got ourselves a extended art Edgar, King of Figaro. We got Setzer, another classic character from Final Fantasy VI, the Wandering Gambler. And then we got ourselves another Wind Crystal. And then we have a basic Swamp. Yeah. All right. Stolen Uniform. Oh, holy smokes. Okay. I should have paid attention. I didn't know some of these other common uncommons, or I wasn't paying attention to enough of these, but Stolen Uniform. This is a scene in Final Fantasy VI where Luke steals some guards' uniforms to, infiltrate a base. Zidane, Tantalus Thief. These things were amazing. Like, such cool characters. But Black Waltz number 3 from Final Fantasy IX. I'm surprised they didn't do Black Waltz number 1 or number 2, but Black Waltz number 3 is probably all you need to do. Ambrosia Whiteheart, Samurai's Katana, Syncopate with the art of Seymour from Final Fantasy X, Shinra Reinforcements, and the Adventures in. Oh boy, it's so fitting that it's like when this enters, you gain 2 life. Last 2 packs. Ooh, that could have been bad. I'm professional, everybody. Don't try this at home. And don't drop scissors where you can accidentally almost stab yourself. So, yeah, I guess it's almost time to start considering my retirement. Hero token. Holy shoot. All right, I'm not going to waste no time with this one, but this is going straight into sleeve and top loader. I believe this will be something that's kind of worth preserving. The Masamune, oh my god, like I got another card I'm like stoked on. we will carefully slide that in here. It is a foil, borderless, beautiful art card. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's pop that aside. Oh, that should be going in my commander deck. All right, I love this. Squall, probably one of my favorite characters. The only thing I don't like too much is, it's just a reprint of some other character, but who cares? It's just Magic the Gathering. But hey, this is great art. This is going into my pile. Valifor, yet again, Yuna's special summon. Saz from 13, don't know him too well. Borderless, Water Crystal. And Triple Triad, the card game from Final Fantasy VIII. I can't remember what the name of the game was in Final Fantasy. Tetramaster, that's what it was. And I think in my last video I got it totally wrong. This was probably a good opportunity for them to do some kind of weird Magic the Gathering hijinks, but that probably would have been a bit of overkill. And we got our island from Final Fantasy X, where Tidus washes on shore and meets the gang, shows off his blitzball skills. All right. Ooh, jeez. Oh my god. So I got to really look at some of these commons, uncommons, but this one here, it's just pretty, beautiful. That scene from Final Fantasy IX, all art foil. Jesus Christ. We got ourselves another Rama, another Cactar, but not the same one. Stolen Uniform, the regular art of that card. Oh, what if we had Suplex in this pack? Imagine what that would be like. But yeah, the Phantom Train from Final Fantasy VI. Charleon. I don't know. I didn't play that game. Blitzball, and the combat tutorial. Oh boy. Okay. I'm not going to complain too much. I definitely am enjoying... Okay, so the pack, I'm just going to leave it somewhat here, but I was going to start spreading some of my cards around. This is the last one. It's almost like this is the moment when we're dropping into Kefka's Tower. This is when we're dropping into fight Sephiroth. We're going into the Ifa tree, or whatever it was. I can't even remember what it was from Final Fantasy IX. Or Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII, I just remember my Squall was OP. Just the way they set up the junction system and how you can junction spells to abilities. Haste on your speed, drain on your attack. Absorb every magic spell with Ultima as your magic defense. Oh my god. Yeah, it was OP. OP. Alright. Last pack, here we go. Not expecting the world here, but we got a bird. We got Ultima. We got Blessing of the Oracle. Another Ultima. Bartz and Boko. Lulu, the Goth Queen, who I thought would have been in blue or black. Jesus Christ, we got ourselves yet oh, we got something that looks really nice back there. We got Sephiroth, the Fabled Soldier. I think we'll definitely sleeve this one. I'm going to set this aside. We got ourselves a basic land from Final Fantasy III, and then behind here, we did it. Even better than when we did the Innistrad. Holy shit. Let's get this together. Let's put these together here. Holy smokes. How far, when did I even open that one? Does anybody remember? Can somebody timestamp it or clip it for me or something? All right. Okay, so it's not quite, the same, but basically what we got here is we got a Surge Foil Fang and just regular Vanille. However, they are the alt art and they meld. It's just a shame that I didn't get a Surge Foil of the other one. Just a little mismatched, but whatever. Obviously didn't hit a Chocobo, so I lost my ass here, everybody. Reno and Root of the Turks. We got that. I mentioned the Lionheart in my one single pack I got from the store, but it would have been great if this was like a, pay extra to do extra damage. Eject, the Coral Sword, Fight On, Vincent's Limit Break. And you know, like speaking of the music in your head, like this is the one that made me think about it. It's like dun 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 dun. I'm gonna stop. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Oh my god. Huh? All right, cool. So I got a second. Oh wait, no, I picked up Squall from there. Oh, I'm losing my mind. So let's do a quick scan over. So you see what I got. Oh, sorry. There was a sucker for scale. You know, just a stupid lollipop, but whatever. I use it to mark my boundaries. This is the box opening. I'd say some good hits. A lot of like whatevers. But, hey, you know, this is enough for me. Terra is all I needed. Just Terra. And this Masamune. These rest of the cards I don't really know anything about. Oh, and I'm also stoked about my my Sephiroth. This is pretty rad. You know, and this song's getting stuck in my head. Oh my god. You know? All right. This video is already the longest video I've ever done. I have to also spend some time doing some cleanup. With that said, I want to say thank you for those who watch. I will really like to try to do another Final Fantasy opening, but like these collector boxes are too much, and it's not worth it. Like even just to do these videos, because like let's be real, I don't make money on these. I do this entirely for fun. So maybe if I start setting up some donation streams or something. Although I promised I wouldn't show myself, so I'm not going there. All right, everybody, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. And please, like, if you haven't played some of the Final Fantasies, give them a shot. All right. Bye, everybody.